We're ready to go.
Hello, we're here with Anastarzia Anaquway, looking like the only fairy queen in fairyland.
I thought I had a good background. Look, I said I put up a flag. She's like, "Bitch, I'm in Wonderland."
Yes, ma'am. You better get up in Wonderland. You be playing.
But
You look
come
so
on,
cute.
But come on, it's the Canadian flag. Like, come on.
Mine's just
What
my
piece
bedroom. Here's the portrait of my grandmother graduating nursing school.
that?
Similar.
Yeah, but
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
aesthetic, you know? How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you, Courtney?
You know, I am okay. I'm firmly okay, yeah.
You're
I haven't
firmly
done-
okay.
I haven't gone past my driveway in weeks, but, you know, given that, I'm actually doing really well.
You're not shakingly okay. You're firmly okay.
Firmly, concretely, and steadily okay.
Come on
Sometimes.
through. I'm here for it. How about you, Jamie? How are you?
You know, I'm here. We're here. I don't know what month it is.
Needs it.
I have no idea what time it is, really. It could be 11 p.m. I have no
It's
idea.
that kind of party. I got you,
No,
baby.
I have no idea.
Let's answer some questions.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about, because your name is so extravagant and very, very
Ooh.
fancy. How did you acquire such a name? And also, I love that your Zoom name right now, I don't think it shows up on the video, but
doesn't.
your Zoom name says the Bahamian Star, and I love it so much.
It cuts off, so in big capital letters, it just says the Bahamian Star.
Star.
But did you see the rest of it? It has ... Z.
Oh my God, I didn't because
Oh,
it cuts off.
I thought that was a continuation, and like we couldn't see. It was a lot in between, and it was just cutting it off.
So it is the Bahamian Star. Z.
Oh my God, I had no idea that you were actually a comedy queen.
Me? Neither did I, girl. Neither did I. That's all I'll say to that. Neither did I. But to answer your question, Jamie, let me tell you. I don't know if you're familiar with. I almost said Pocahontas. Why was I about to call that name? With Disney's Anastasia.
Oh. Fun
Yes.
fact, it actually didn't start out at Disney. It was because I went to the Disney store once and said, "Can I get the Anastasia movie?" And they were like, "That's not a Disney film." And I was like, "But yes, I am. Yes."
Yes.
David loves Disney.
And so my name is derived from Anastasia, and I loved her story. After her family was murdered, she was forced out. She later returned to claim her rightful place as the ruler of this nation. And I absolutely loved it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put my own spin to it because I'm a star. So I placed star in the middle of Anastasia, and I got Anastarzia. Like the last name, like child, that's not even a word. I was at work and I was playing with some letters, and I came up with Anaquway. And I was like, I love this name, Anaquway, but how can I make it more original? And I changed the CK, however you spell it, child. I put the QUWAY instead.
She said, I don't know how it's spelled. I just
love that.
you know.
In my brain, I just went, is there a W in the last name? Have I been spelling it wrong in my recaps all this time? No, I got you.
No, you've been doing it right.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. This is my favorite question, and we ask everybody every week because I've been obsessed with all the answers so far. Did you have an alternative or a backup entrance line, or was the one that you used the only one you planned on and you said, yep, this is the one?
That's the only one I planned for.
Oh, she's decisive.
Because you know what? When I won Miss Black Continental at Large, that was my opening line as well. For my introduction, I said, if you don't know who I am, just call me mother. Because all these bitches, they're my sons. And mother's got a lesson to teach. Yeah, but that was just too long for Drag Race. I couldn't walk in. Child, they would be like, the episode is done and she's still talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's self-referential. I'm really obsessed with that.
That
I
sounds like
love
something
that.
Courtney would do, talking until they shut her off.
I have no idea what you mean. I never do that.
We wanted to touch on really quickly in episode 2. Well, we're not going to give it much time because those people don't deserve it.
Amen.
More so the the whole story and everything, but then kind of the response after you still received more comments to that, but you kind of just said, you know, this is still happening, want to bring attention to, like, to change the minds of people is
difficult
when they're so rooted in their ways.
It's impossible, downright impossible.
Yeah. So I just wanted you to touch on, you know, that response and how you felt about that in addition to the original.
And if you got a lot of support.
Yeah, for sure. So firstly, you mentioned changing the mentality. To be honest, the only way mentalities like that change is the dying out of older generations. I'm not trying to say I want the people to die, but that is how you get rid of it. And I think as the years go on, it will improve. I think it has improved a lot since I left home 7 years ago. And I think the constant improvement it's in progress. So yeah, I did get a lot of backlash on social media for it. The people, I won't say the country, the people, some of the people in the country call me a liar, a bold-faced liar. He's lying on us, we don't do this. But then you have stories like mine, and that's not even the first. The first really took place in 2009 when 4 guys barged into my apartment and totally beat the living daylights out of my roommate and myself. So for them to sit there and say, oh, we don't do that. You may not do it, but there are people in the country that do.
Right.
Don't speak for everyone because you'll make a fool out of yourself. Mm-hmm. And despite all the hate that I've gotten death threats even. One guy went on Facebook and said, yeah, and if he comes back drag queening, we'll shoot him again. I later found out that he was arrested for cyberbullying. And I am very impressed with the Bahamas for doing that because that would have just been swept under the rug. So I applaud them for that. Now they're making some kind of waves. And I was saying the flip side of it is I've gotten so much love from everyone around the world. You hear me? The entire world, Brazil, Chile, Europe. It was so overwhelming. But what I loved most is the inspirational stories that were shared with me. And I'll share one real quick. There was this guy, a man, he messaged me and he said, for the longest time, my mother and I didn't have the perfect relationship because she is a Bahamian, a Christian Bahamian, and she doesn't approve of his lifestyle. And so he sent me a picture of, I think he was 9 in the picture, and he was standing next to her. And he said, Anastarzia, thank you so much for traveling back in time and healing that young boy that was so broken. These are the stories that I absolutely love to hear.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I'm so glad that people were sharing that with you and that you got support and that you got love because you deserve it. And sharing your story was so incredibly brave. I'm thrilled to hear that there was positivity along with that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you are heavily into the pageant system. You've got all the experience and titles in the world. Has that helped you travel elsewhere? And if so, what do you notice as like some of the key differences in drag between Toronto, where you normally work, correct me if I'm wrong, and the other places that you've been in the actual drag scenes?
You know what? My career as a pageant queen, it has taken me around the world. I competed, of course, here in Canada, of course, back home in the Bahamas, in the UK, and I was actually supposed to head to Australia this year in January to compete for Miss Gay International, but what happened was, of course, they had those forest fires, and so our trip got and so what I will say is the drag scene around the world, it differs everywhere you go. It differs every single place. And what I'm grateful for is being here in Canada, because Canada, to this day, is the only place I've seen such diversity when it comes to our industry. I speak about it all the time. The bearded queens, the hairy queens, the androgynous queens, the femme queens, the pageant queens, the showgirls. It's all represented here in Canada, like all of it. And yeah, I absolutely love the diversity of the drag scene in Canada.
That's phenomenal. I love hearing where like people have been and what you've seen.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
We travel a lot too, and I agree.
Yeah, everywhere I travel, I try and see a drag show if they have one. Yeah, for sure. Everywhere, even down in Cuba. Like, Why are you in Cuba looking for a drag show? You know damn well they ain't got no drag show up in here.
You didn't find one?
But I didn't find one, no.
Oh no. We went to Poland.
Poland.
We visited, my parents lived in Germany and we went to Europe to visit them, and our car broke down in Poland and we went to a drag show in Krakow, and it was one of my favorite drag shows we've ever been to. It was in this like hot, sweaty basement and we didn't understand a word that was said, but it was like they put on full productions. It was so much fun. That's really the best part of traveling, is like finding drag shows wherever you are.
Right? And ain't that fun, just sitting in the audience not knowing what the hell they're talking about?
Yeah.
I remember when I went to Cabaret Mado and in Montreal, like, and they were just speaking in French, and I was just there, yeah, girl, And when the people responded, I responded with them, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this tonight, baby.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We saw a Rita Baga show once, and we walked in and she saw us, and she made this beautiful speech about like gender and drag, and we were in drag. It was after a canceled Lady Gaga show. And she made this beautiful speech into my eyes about gender and drag, and halfway through she realized that I didn't have a damn clue that what she was talking about. So she wrapped it up and she threw in a couple English words so I could kind of like stumble onto track, and everybody cheered, and I was like, oh, that was stressful. Like, my French is not good, and she was just like, oh, poor baby, you don't have a clue what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, that part.
Do you want to do a rapid fire round with us?
Let's do it. Okay.
I'm going to say two things. You tell me which one you prefer as quick as you can. And Jamie might randomly scream Y at you. Okay, ready?
Oh, I thought we were starting. Oh, sorry. Forgive me.
Okay, ready? Poutine or maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
Beaver or moose? Totally.
Beaver?
Smarties or coffee crisp?
Say that again?
Smarties or coffee crisp?
Smarties.
I agree. Ketchup chips or all dressed chips?
All dressed. Ketchup
I agree.
Chips are nasty.
Ketchup smells so bad that it actually makes me gag. It's like
why the hell are you eating ketchup chips?
And they're sweet. It's so confusing. Degrassi or Schitt's Creek?
Schitt's Creek, baby!
I agree.
Okay. Resounding.
We were saying this to someone else too, that we wish that Dan Levy had been one of y'all's guest judges. That would have been so much fun. Because he's a big drag fan too. Okay, we're gonna do, if you're down, a little digital portrait. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make you my whole screen, and all you have to do is like hold a pose and count to 3, and then hold a pose and count to 3, and we will.
She said.
We will screenshot it.
I love that you're in Wonderland. How did you even, like, where is that from? Like, how did you acquire?
I got this bullshit from Amazon. Girl, I have tons of these things. You go on Amazon and you research Alice in Wonderland backdrop, Harry Potter backdrop, any backdrop you want, you will find on Amazon, baby.
Oh my God.
Do you have specifically many backdrops or many Wonderland backdrops?
I have many backdrops.
Oh.
Yeah, just this one. Girl, what am I gonna do with more than one of these bullshit?
I don't know. Maybe you're the old fairy queen of the world.
Yeah, that's a no.
Not for today.
That's
I'll kind of pass.
How is your quarantine going? Like, what have you been doing? How are you coping? How are you keeping busy?
You know what? Drag Race has kept me busy. And I'll be honest. I'm always sewing something, like this bullshit that I have on. Making this bullshit ass hat. So I've been doing a lot of sewing and a lot of too much thinking. Girl, I don't know how people do it. Like this almost drove me insane. Like, yeah, I'm ready for this to be done so that we can get out in the world. I'm a concierge for an airline. And so meeting people and talking to people, that's what I do as a profession. That's what I do on a daily basis. Girl, do you know what it is to be confined to a house 24 hours a day with no one to talk to? And okay, so you got the phone, but yeah, that person-to-person interaction, I need it in my life.
Absolutely. What are you most excited for when the world resets and we're all finally set free and we can at least be around each other again?
I'm 120% excited to meet our fans. I said this earlier today. I've traveled the world. Of course, I work for an airline, so I've seen the world. But now I want to see it through the eyes of a drag race girl. I want to touch and meet our fans. That's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm excited to do it.
That's amazing. Oh my God, people are going to love you in meet and greets. I can just already tell.
They already do, baby. They already do.
She said, this is not my first rodeo.
She's going to bring the backdrops.
That part. That part. For real.
So when we're in Toronto and we're hired to work the media and photograph the meet and greet, we'll just bring clips and we'll clip up whatever backdrop you pull out of your purse.
Damn right. That's it. Pulling out of the purse. Come on out, baby.
Give it a shake. We'll give it a steam before we start.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
That part.
Oh my God, amazing. God. Thank you so much for talking to us today. I would personally like to humbly request that we be best friends from this moment forward because this was a blast.
Put in a form.
So is it just going to be you and I, or are we going to include Jamie in this? What is it? Entanglement.
Jamie's invited, I think.
Okay, very good.
If she so chooses.
How rude.